Marion native Chuck Morgan has a major league voice. For you baseball fans, he's painted many pictures to our childhood. This weekend, he's getting quite the honor from his employer. A big win for SIU. They survived. In fact, it was Brian Mullins' first Arch Madness victory, and now he gets to face his old boss, Porter Moser and Loyola Chicago. But it might have come at an expense. Final week of high school football. Can you believe it's already here? We start with a rivalry matchup in the South 7. A Marion win, and it'll be their first undefeated team since 1963. Hey, same scenario back in 2019. Carbondale played spoiler, beating Marion in that final week. So what will happen tonight? Let's get you answers. Reese Johnson always wanted to play Division I basketball, but he received no D1 offers on his basketball merits alone. The Benton High grad is a 4.0 student. He applied for the SIU Chancellor Scholarship and got it. A full ride academically. Johnson's grades opened a door to walk onto the SIU men's basketball team, a door that otherwise was not open. Everyone's starting to make their way into the Marion Cultural and Civic Center. They're playing the music, so everyone's starting to get into that Olympic spirit. And look who made a guest appearance. Here's Darryl Sullivan Jr. himself. And people can get their photos taken with Darryl with some cool stuff. Look, there's a red, white, and blue wig. You can even put on some cool shades. Everyone is getting into the spirit. It's just a beautiful backdrop to our journey that began at 3:30 this morning. We went through St. Louis, Kansas City, into Nebraska, Iowa, and now South Dakota. We're about 45 miles from Brookings, where tonight's game will be played. And we're excited for this matchup. SIU, they're on a hot streak, but they also add a key weapon to their offense. Javon Williams Jr. has been cleared. He practiced this week. He made the trip. Welcome to Rent One Park. It is the home to the Colt World Series. It's also my office for the evening. It's a little loud here right now. A good crowd has made their way in for the championship game. That's right. We've all heard the old saying, when life serves you lemons, turn it into lemonade. And a 6-year-old brought that message to life. SIU football continues to perfect their craft in fall camp. The team is ironing out all the kinks. 2 days of camp now officially in the books. Here are sights and sounds from Salukis fall camp. Tokyo Olympics will be without fans, and it won't be the same, but it's still an exciting opportunity for our country's athletes to showcase their talents. SIU alum Deanna Price has a lot of energy. She's known as the International Hugger. COVID-19 has made it hard for Deanna to give out hugs. Welcome to Evansville, and it was a nice business trip for the Salukis, Missouri Valley Conference champions. It has a nice ring to it. As a 4 seed, they won 3 games in 3 days. Sarah Harness was your Missouri Valley Conference MVP, and she was asked this morning by head coach Kerry Blaylock, do you want the ball? She didn't even hesitate with that answer. SIU football is coming off a big win over 3rd-ranked Weber State. The last time the Salukis won a playoff game away from Carbondale, you have to go all the way back to 1983 when SIU knocked off Western Carolina to win the national championship in Charleston, South Carolina. One big reason the Salukis are moving on, the play of Stone Labanowitz. It's time to go beyond the highlights. I met a young athlete this week that reminded me, do what you love. Life is a lot more enjoyable that way. It's game night, and Addie Darnell is helping DeCoin Junior Varsity pull off a win. Even with a mask on, you can tell she's all smiles. I see a 16-year-old young lady being a teenager, doing teenage things. But what you don't see off court is the Indians junior has completed 7 chemotherapy treatments and still continues to play high school volleyball.
It's just a lot, so you get like nervous and overwhelmed because all eyes are on you. I mean, I got 2 camera crews here, and I've never been on the news before, so.
In December, Addie was diagnosed with advanced stage 3 bulky Hodgkin's lymphoma. She is on a clinical trial now at Children's Hospital in St. Louis.
I feel like I can 100% be me every single time I'm out there in that court, and that's why I love this sport so much.
We love to watch the movies. We love, the Rocky sagas as folks. We love to see people challenge. She's one of the toughest people I've ever seen in my life.
I get in trouble all the time because I make jokes about this. That's how I cope. I make jokes. So I get in trouble all the time, and then they don't know whether to laugh or not. And I think it's so funny because they'll just look around, they're like this, and they don't know.
I mean, the love of her teammates and stuff like that, and her humor. You know, she said that the first game they called her in the net, and she said, "Can I ask the ref? It was my hair that got in the net, right? It's my hair." You know, being bald, that's just Addie on the jokes. And she says, "Well, what's the ref going to say to the cancer kid? Nothing." You know, if I ask him that. So just teasing and the jokes about like that makes your heart feel good, and the love for her team that her teammates have for her. Her teammates have been so wonderful, and so has everyone in the school and the community of DuQuoin.
But she's still the same old Addie, cracking jokes and thinking of others. And that includes her favorite hobby, baking. And she has a secret recipe that helps to get victories.
It's chocolate chip or it's blueberry muffins. That's the team favorites. So those are the two.
Very upbeat, very energetic, very positive, you know, not down at all. And you know, she likes to just be treated the same way.
On Monday, Addie received a nice surprise. She was inserted into the varsity starting lineup. It was her time to shine.
She does put everyone else before her, and for her to have her own night tonight, it just was a good idea. As much as she didn't really want the spotlight on her, it's good for her.
Sometimes everybody takes for granted what they have, and now everybody's really learning to appreciate this volleyball season and what Addie's done for us our entire lives and everything.
Congratulations to Harrisburg football player Blake Eversman. The Chicago Bears named him their 7th Community High School All-Star Award winner. The Bears are recognizing 9 high school football players making a positive impact in their community and school. Blake received the hand-printed football you see right here, along with a $500 check to the charity of his choice. Let's learn more about the young man who loves to give back. Meet Blake Eversman, a senior offensive lineman for the Harrisburg Bulldogs football team. An outspoken young man with a heart full of kindness. To tell this story and to tell it well, we need to begin a journey that starts from childhood. A lesson in life shared from a grandfather to a grandson.
If I was out with him and we'd see a man or woman wearing a "I served in this war" hat, he'd kind of poke me in the side and say, "Go and thank them for their service." And that's just what I grew up with. It's what I learned to do to give them the respect they deserve.
Now let's fast forward to Blake's freshman year in high school. Blake received a new English assignment. Come up with a community project. The 4.0 student takes his academics serious, but this project had him stumped. A conversation with his grandfather, and a fuse was lit.
He talked about how when even he was a kid, the crosses were breaking and deteriorating. They were made in 1931, I believe, is when they were first put up and first grounded into the ground and given respect to those men and women. And he said even before he was born, ever since his father was born, they were already starting to deteriorate and get dirty and break. And he launched this idea towards me, and I said, I really don't have a better idea for this project, so let's do it.
This project was not just a one-time thing. It evolved into something so much more. Blake's grandfather, a Vietnam vet, served in the United States Army, and following Blake's school assignment, created the Veterans Memorial Preservation Fund.
It really hit me in the heart to know that I was able to do something just cleaning crosses for fallen soldiers. It really made me think about, if I felt this good after doing it just once and they looked this beautiful from just cleaning them once, what would happen if I waited a few months and came back again and see what they looked like afterwards? What if I waited a year and then came back again to see what they looked like after I cleaned them that 3rd, 4th, or even 5th time?
To see what the cemetery was before, and knowing that it was getting run down, and for him to be one of the leaders to spearhead the fact that not only is he cleaning the crosses, but he's helping with fundraisers and doing things to improve that area. It's very cool to have that kind of kid on the team.
Blake is donating his entire $500 check from the Bears to the fund his grandfather created. The hope is to provide scholarships in the future or help struggling families who lost a loved one who is a veteran.
I just ended up recently losing my grandfather about a few months ago from cancer due to Agent Orange from when he served in Vietnam. And I was terrified of doing it this year. You know, I didn't think I'd be able to go through and stand out there and do everything myself, but the community really kind of stepped up.
Blake fears when he goes off to college, the crosses will get dirty again or start breaking and rusting. Mr. Nyberg, a local middle school teacher, came up with a plan.
Why don't I record you kind of telling the history of these crosses and saying what you do to clean them and how you should act around them. And then every year, whenever you're not here to clean them, I'll take a group of students, show them the video, and we'll get right to cleaning.
Blake is going to attend the University of Alabama and major in psychology, minor in political science. The Harrisburg native says one day he wants to work in a VA hospital.
Knowing that my community is going to keep on doing this even after I'm gone is astonishing. It's beyond beautiful to know that the community is able to pick up where I left off and keep pushing forward. It honestly can bring a tear to my eye.
Let's talk baseball. The Miners continue their 6-game homestand, looking to sweep the Evansville Otters. So let's head out to the ballpark. It was an emotional pregame. This year, things were different for our high school wrestlers. No state meet. Where the IHSA left off, the Illinois Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association stepped in. The IWCOA held their own state meet. Like SIU softball, John A. Logan is in a championship state of mind. The Vols leave this weekend for Yuma, Arizona. They'll be the 13th seed in a 16-team tournament. Double elimination. They play Tuesday at noon Central Time. There are 10 young ladies on this team from our viewing area. They have a chance to do something special. Let's go beyond the highlights with the Vols. Name, image, and likeness will change the landscape of college athletics. We caught up with Carterville native and University of Illinois tight end Luke Ford on what opportunities he may have when it comes to endorsements.